Let's go ahead and get started. Welcome to today's Wednesday webinar regarding the scholarship process. My name is Lupe Hernandez. I am a student success advisor with ICANN. If you are not familiar with ICANN, we are a nonprofit organization. We have offices all over the state. We assist with post-secondary education planning, and our mission is to empower Iowans to find success in career, college, and in life. All of our services are at no cost to you as parents, to your students, to your high schools. We are happy to assist in the post-secondary planning as much as possible. And the reason why we can be a free service, nonprofit, and offer these services to you at no cost is because we have amazing partners that believe in our mission. This event is actually being sponsored by Iowa Farm Bureau, and we are lucky enough that we do have someone from Iowa Farm Bureau that will be giving you some information about the Iowa Farm Bureau Scholarship. So I'll let her introduce herself, and she will go over the Iowa Farm Bureau Scholarship for the class of 2026.
Thank you, and good evening, everyone. My name is Ronette Bondrak, and I am the Community Resource Manager for the Iowa Farm Bureau Federation. And I'm excited to be here tonight to share with you all the exciting opportunities that we have at the Iowa Farm Bureau as it relates to student scholarships. So to start off with a little bit about who we are, the Iowa Farm Bureau Federation, IFBF, and many of our 100 county farm bureaus offer a variety of scholarships to future college students. Just as a matter of fact, during the 2024-25 academic year, we awarded nearly $650,000 in student scholarships to 575 students across the state. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the IFBF scholarships, which is at our state level. We award graduating high school students a $2,500 scholarship that is renewable up to $10,000. To be eligible, students must be pursuing a 2- or 4-year degree, majoring in an ag-related field or one that supports rural Iowa. So for example, I think people get hung up sometimes on ag-related and think that they can't think outside the box. When we are talking about something that supports rural Iowa, we also have students who have received our scholarships who are in getting education or nursing, something that's going to give back to the rural communities here in the state of Iowa. So students must also be involved in school activities, demonstrate leadership activities, have community involvement, and volunteer work. In addition, a parent or guardian must be a current member of the Iowa Farm Bureau. If you're currently not a member, that's fine. You can always join at any time. The membership fee is actually $45 to $65 per year, depending on what county you reside in. The Iowa Farm Bureau, as I said, and many of our 100 county farm bureaus offer a variety of scholarships. So, whoops, I'm sorry, I'm on the wrong slide here. Back up here. Moving into the local scholarships. Sorry if you want to fast forward to that one. Most of our 100 county farm bureaus offer local scholarship programs. However, eligibility and availability and award amounts do vary by each county. For details, you'll want to reach out to your respective county farm bureau office and ask what they offer at the local level. In addition, we offer other scholarship opportunities that are made possible by generosity of some of our members. Those scholarships I have listed on this slide as well. They're named scholarships, and they have specific criteria and eligibility requirement. Just to walk through each of those, the Robert H. Rewalt Memorial Scholarship is for students who are from the northeast quadrant of the state, which is Iowa Farm Bureau District number 1, for those of you who are members and familiar with our layout. Those counties include Allamakee, Blackhawk, Bremner, Buchanan, Chickasaw, Clayton, Delaware, Dubuque, Fayette, Howard, and Winneshiek counties. This scholarship is awarded annually to 2 students in the amount of $3,000, and it actually is renewable up to 2 years for a total of up to $6,000. The Beverly Ruby Scholarship is a one-time $1,000 scholarship. This one is just newly established this year, and it's awarded to 2 students from Jefferson County. The Edward and Elizabeth Klott Memorial Scholarship is a one-time $500 scholarship that's awarded to only 1 student from Wapello County. To apply for any scholarships that's offered through Iowa Farm Bureau that I have actually just gone through here tonight, you will only need to complete one application, and that will enter you in for a chance to receive a state scholarship or a local county scholarship or a named scholarship that you are actually eligible for, depending on your information that's provided in your application. Our application is actually currently open right now and can be found on our website at iowafarmbureau.com under member benefits. And the deadline to apply is at 11:55 p.m. sharp on Wednesday, January 28th, 2026. And then our scholarships will all be awarded. Each county is very different in when they award theirs, but for the majority, they're all awarded in and announced in April.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Ronette. Thank you everyone again for joining us. I will be speaking the rest of the webinar. These are the topics we're going to be going over. So let's get started. Let's jump right in. I do want to be respectful of your time, and we will hopefully we'd be done here within 30 minutes. So first, I just want to go over why scholarships and college financial aid is important. Why we push this so much. First and foremost, it will allow students to reduce their overall college debt. As you can imagine, as you know, college is very expensive. So we are definitely trying to get students to not have to take out so much debt to pay for their post-secondary education. But in addition to that, it helps the student improve academic focus and performance. When students don't have their college bill, like looming over their head that this is going to be due in a certain amount of time and I don't have the money right now. When they don't have those worries, that stress, or when parents don't have that stress, it's going to help the students perform better in college. And of course, also along with that is it's going to improve graduation rates. Okay, so many times, unfortunately, because of college costs, students have to drop out. So hopefully with scholarships, with additional financial aid, students will actually make it to that finish line and receive their desired post-secondary education. Another thing is that it helps with motivation and recognition. When a student is awarded a scholarship, there's a sense of pride, right? There's a sense that people believe in you, that you are able to continue and move on with that education. And also, I know you hear this a lot and you hear it all the time, but there are billions of dollars available each year. It's just a matter of knowing where to look and to actually put the time and effort into applying for these scholarships. So first things first. The FAFSA comes first, you guys. Okay, so for the class of 2026, this should have already been completed or in the process of getting completed here shortly. The FAFSA is the foundation for all types of financial aid, especially federal aid. In order to qualify for federal financial aid, a student has to file the FAFSA. So federal financial aid can come in the form of grants and work study, as well as some scholarships, okay? And many scholarships, whether they're from the college, from your community, from a private organization, they are tied to you getting the FAFSA completed. Sometimes I have parents that contact me and they're like, well, you know, we make too much money, we're not gonna get anything, or we haven't gotten anything before. Is filing the FAFSA even worth it? Do we have to do it? I really recommend you file it. If you are in the group where you're thinking, you know, we make too much money, we're not going to get anything. Okay, so you already know that you're not going to qualify for need-based aid. Okay, so that would be the grants. But like I said, there are some scholarships that have nothing to do with how much money you make or how much money you have. There are scholarships based on the student's merit, their academics, their athletics, their talents. And in order to get some of those scholarships, the FAFSA has to be completed. So again, I encourage all families to complete the FAFSA. Again, not because you're expecting the grants from the federal government, because you already know you're probably not going to get it, but you're doing it because your student has the potential of getting a scholarship based on them as a person, right? Their ACT score, their GPA, and all things I've mentioned before. So You do want to file the FAFSA before the college's priority date. There's a big deadline. Well, I don't want to, let me say that again. There's a big priority date for FAFSA completion coming up here pretty soon, and that would be for the University of Iowa. If there are any students who are considering attending or have applied to the University of Iowa, their FAFSA priority date is December 1. Okay, so you can file the FAFSA afterward, but if you do it afterward, if you do it before, there's a better chance of students qualifying for some of that institutional admissions scholarship. So again, the last thing I'm going to say about FAFSA is I do recommend that you get it completed. And if you need assistance, if you don't want to mess with it, we can help you do that. We help you. We do the FAFSA for you. You can set up an appointment with us virtually or through Zoom. Virtually or in person in one of our offices, and we can help you and we can do this application for you. So the application became available on October 1st for the class of 2026. And the colleges, the application allows you to send the application to up to 20 colleges. Because sometimes parents will say, well, I'm ready to do the FAFSA, but my son or daughter, they haven't applied anywhere. Can I still do the application? The answer is yes, because as long as you send it to one college, you can complete the application and then go back in later and add more schools to the application. Like I said before, be mindful of priority dates. University of Iowa is coming up December 1. Iowa State, I believe, I want to say it's December 6th. Don't quote me on it, but it's sometime in December. And then UNI is January 15th. Okay. In order to file the FAFSA, the student and the parent will need to have student aid accounts. They call them federal student aid IDs. This is a username and a password that the student and the parent will need in order to complete this application. Again, I'm offering you our services. If you do not want to mess with the FAFSA, we will do it for you, again, at no cost. Let's talk about what types of scholarships are out there. Where to find the scholarships. I'm going to be going over these in detail, but this is just a list. The first and foremost, I do want to mention, because this is something that we're very proud about and very excited about, is that ICANN has launched a new, ICANN in conjunction with ISL Education Lending, we've launched a new scholarship search. It's called Step One. So that is a resource that it's open to anyone to help find scholarships. You want to be in communication and make sure that you're getting emails from your your high school counseling office, because they're going to have information on the local scholarships in your community. You want to look at colleges and university websites. Okay. You want to look at your community, where you live, community organizations, your employers, and of course the Iowa Department of Education. They also have scholarships to award. So let's go over the types of scholarships that are out there. So first and foremost, there is national scholarships. So these are the big scholarships, right? These are the big amount scholarships. They're very competitive because they're national. So seniors from the entire country are applying for these scholarships, all right? There are state scholarships from the Iowa Department of Ed. There are statewide organizations that offer scholarships, just like we heard from Iowa Farm Bureau. There are local scholarships. These would be your businesses, your civic groups, your foundations. And then there are college or institutional scholarships. So these could be like automatic admission scholarships or competitive scholarships, departmental scholarships from the college itself. So a little bit more on the national scholarships. Again, they're available to everyone. This is, in my opinion, the benefit of the national scholarships is that they are available year round, right? So you can go right now on a national search engine for scholarships, and they will have a scholarship that's going to be available for students to apply for right now, right? Versus the local scholarships, there might be like a scholarship season where, you know, they're only available through in certain times of the year, right? Like I mentioned before, national scholarships are, you know, they are legit scholarships, legit organizations, legit businesses. But like I said, you're competing with students all over the country, not discouraging you to not apply, because it's very likely that hopefully that you hopefully will qualify and apply and get some national scholarships. But again, the competition is much higher. Some examples: the National Honor Society has scholarships. The Work Ethic Scholarship Program. So the Work Ethic Scholarship is from, if you guys remember, if you guys ever watched Mike Rowe, he had a show on TV about dirty jobs. That is for students who are looking into like technical programs or non-traditional college programs. The Coca-Cola Foundation Scholarship is a great scholarship. I believe where I live locally, there's been a few students that actually made it to the finals of the Coca-Cola Foundation Scholarship. So very, very reputable organization and a lot of money to hopefully qualify or get to help pay for college. And on the same spectrum, the Ford Motor Company Scholarship. So these are examples of some of the national scholarships available to students. Again, this is more on that step one scholarship search. If you want to click on that or scan that QR code, it will take you to the website. The website is also step and then the number one scholarships, plural, .org. So step1scholarships.org. This is a one-stop shop for scholarships. This website, like I said, it's fairly new. It was launched on October 1st. It will help students find scholarships at the national, regional, state, and local scholarships all in one place. So if you go in there, if you're from Johnson County, you're going to see the Community Foundation of Johnson County Scholarship. If you're from Davenport, you're going to see the LULAC Scholarship, the Essentra Scholarship, the Quad City Minority Scholarship. So it's like I said, a one-stop shop. Students are also able to receive notifications of new scholarship matches. All right, so they can get an email or a text saying, hey, we found a scholarship for you. And then students will also get reminders of when some of these scholarships are coming due. So really, I know that there's many scholarship databases out there, and most of them are legit and they're very good, but we are excited about this one, and hopefully you are able to take advantage of it. So then there are college scholarships. So this is where these are scholarships awarded from the college which the student has applied and been accepted to. Okay, so there are several types of college scholarships, and some students and families are not aware of this. Okay, so there are automatic scholarships or admission scholarships. Okay, so this is where a student applies for admissions. Okay, they send in the application, they get a response, and then the letter says, congratulations, Kyle, whatever, you have been accepted to our school. Based on your information, you qualify for $1,500 renewable scholarship from our college as long as you maintain a 3.0 GPA. Those are considered automatic or admission scholarships because that is based on the student's admissions applications. Okay, what students don't realize is that there are also departmental scholarships or foundation scholarships that students need to be taken advantage of. So it's not just well, I only qualified for 1,500. Okay, but did you also look at the college's scholarship database? If you're going to be an engineer, did you look at the College of Engineering? If you're going to be a lawyer, did you look at the College of Business? If you're going to be in education, did you look at the College of Ed database? There's also foundation scholarships. Community colleges are known to have those foundation scholarships available. This is where students fill out one application, and depending on what the foundation is looking for, they will award students their scholarships. And please be aware of deadlines. I'm telling you this because there are some scholarships, college scholarships, that might have an earlier deadline than the FAFSA. Okay, I'll give you an example. Kirkwood. So Kirkwood's FAFSA deadline is July 1, right? So you need to have your FAFSA done by May 1 for Kirkwood. But they have a foundation scholarship where the deadline is March 15th. So I would be telling you, if your student is considering attending Kirkwood, get your FAFSA completed and your scholarship applications completed by March 15th. So it's not just, again, not just looking at those automatic admission scholarships. Look at the departmental scholarships and pay attention to those deadlines. Here are some other examples. The first one I mentioned is the Kirkwood one. Once a student applies and gets accepted, they will be given a student ID, and then they will be able to apply for the foundation scholarship. Another example is from Iowa State. They have something called the One App. Once a student has applied and been accepted, again, they will be given a student ID, and then they will be able to sign in and fill out their One App so that they could see what other scholarships from Iowa State they would qualify for. And then, for example, St. Ambrose, they have a scholarship list. Right? It's not just one application and you apply for everything. There are some colleges like St. Ambrose where you have to go through a list and pick out the ones that you would want to apply for and hopefully qualify for. So again, these are some examples of some of the college scholarships that are out there. Other places for scholarships would be to look at private and local, another source, your place of work. All right, if you work for a big company or corporation, see if they have any scholarships or tuition reimbursement programs. Just thinking of where I live here, check with your bank. All right, there are some banks that have scholarships. Your church, local businesses, local civic groups, local chapters of, for example, American Legions, the Kiwanis, the Rotary Club, the Optimist Club, the community foundations, as I mentioned. And again, your high school counseling office will have information on these local scholarships because these organizations will notify your local high school counselor about, hey, we have a scholarship for seniors this year. Can you please promote it? So make sure that students and parents are looking into those local scholarships in your community. These are the state scholarships that are available for the first for the first 4 scholarship programs. The only thing you need to do to apply for these is to file the FAFSA. So by filing the FAFSA, you are applying for the Iowa Tuition Grant, which is only for private colleges. So if a student is considering attending a community college or a Regent University, they will not qualify for Iowa Tuition Grant. It's only for private schools. Anybody going into a vocational technical program, there's a grant program for that. If a student is going into a certain type of field, there's the Iowa Skilled Workforce Tuition Grant, and then there's also the Last Dollar Scholarship that is for certain programs at a community college. Another state program is called the All Iowa Opportunity Scholarship. Now for this one, there is a separate application. I have provided the website for that here. You can take a screenshot of it if you want. But if you want to apply for the All Iowa Opportunity Scholarship, there is a separate application that you would have to do. If you want us to assist you with the FAFSA, we will likely also file the state application, the All Iowa Opportunity Scholarship application for you as well. It's very easy. It's like 3 to 5 minutes long. It's very simple, just basic demographic information for the student. All right, see, these are other examples of, these are examples of state programs. So again, the All Iowa Opportunity Scholarship and the Robert D. Blue Scholarship as well. So this is what's available, an example of what's available through our state. So let's go over the scholarship application process. So a few tips. We recommend students to be organized and prepared and start now. All right. I do realize that a lot of scholarships, a lot of local scholarships have not and will not become available for a few months still. But if you can even now start thinking about how you're going to stay organized so that when they do become available, it's going to be an easy process for you. Definitely start thinking of that. Keep a list of deadlines, of course. If it were me, I would start a spreadsheet on your computer, just make a list of the scholarships based on when they are due and apply early. don't risk it with sending in a scholarship that's kind of getting close to the deadline. Make sure that you are reading the instructions carefully. All right. Scholarship committees spend a lot of time putting together their applications. Make sure that you are reading those directions carefully. And like I said, gather all the information that they're going to ask. Okay. Have your high school transcript available. Put together your activities resume. Have your ACT or SAT scores and results readily available. Know what your current GPA is. Know what your class rank is. Letters of recommendation. There might be some scholarship committees that will ask you to provide letters of recommendation. And also, if you are applying for a need-based scholarship, they might ask you for family financial information or the student aid index from the FAFSA, okay? So just make sure that you are having all this prepared, and make sure that you are tracking everything that you, like I said, if it were me, I would have a spreadsheet with a planner and making sure that I'm not missing out on anything. Some more tips on scholarship applications. Look at scholarship criteria. If you meet the criteria, apply. If not, don't waste your time. If it is a scholarship that is asking for you to, do you participate in basketball? And you don't. You participate in bowling. Don't apply. Don't waste your time. Read the criteria. If you qualify for it, apply for it. Of course, if you don't, move on. Move on to the next scholarship. Don't waste your time. Don't waste the scholarship committee's time applying for something that you don't qualify for. Okay. Answer every question and follow the directions. Again, make sure that you are reading the criteria. Make sure that you are doing as you are told. Believe it or not, applying is kind of like a test. Like, did this person follow our instructions? Make sure that you are answering every question. If something does not pertain to the student, do not leave it blank, because they're not going to know if you just overlooked that question or if that question does not pertain to you. If something does not pertain to you, put an A, not applicable, so that they know it's like, okay, this doesn't apply to the student, and they did not overlook that question. Follow the directions, like I said. I'll give you an example. A few years ago, I still am, but a few years ago, somebody provided a scholarship application for us, for the scholarship committee I am in charge of. And they submitted a copy of their senior picture. Like, it was the front page, like it was a whole page of the student senior picture, and it was, they had like a glossy cover on it. We did not need that. We did not need that. We actually, threw away because we didn't need it. So again, don't go out of your way to do things that you're not being asked to do. Use a professional email address. So this is important for anything that has to do with the student's life after high school. Get in the habit of using your personal email accounts, your Gmails, your Yahoos, your iClouds, because it's very likely that when students graduate from high school in May or June, the district is going to deactivate those emails. So you will no longer have access to them. And if you are using and I hope you're using your personal email, please make sure that it's a professional email address. Okay. If it's something silly or something that's like super long and just really redundant, think of your audience, really. Avoid misspelled words, improper punctuation, bad grammar, slang. Don't use acronyms or abbreviations, right? Because there are some people in the scholarship committee that may not know what the acronyms stand for. So, for example, if you put, I was National Honor Society for 2 years, and you put NHS, okay, spell it out. Spell out National Honor Society. Or if you're writing the word with, and I've had students that just put W/, okay, I know what it means, but again, some scholarship committees may not know what the W- stands for. Or when you're saying because, again, I know what BC stands for. It's because. But again, write it out. Please, if at all possible, type the application unless you're told otherwise. It's going to avoid a lot of misspelled words or, just handwriting that we cannot decipher. So if you're able, please type the application. And please make sure that you are reusing a business font. Example, Times New Roman, Arial. Those are good fonts that are readable and, they're professional. Keep in mind that you are writing a professional document and not a text to your friend or a family member. So a little bit on the essays. When writing an essay, be personal and specific, okay, to an extent. Show growth and resilience. Avoid cliches, okay? Don't say, I want to help people. I want to help the world, all right? Those are cliches, and we've seen that before, and what does that even mean, right? And make sure that you are proofreading this essay. Some more tips, read the prompt. Almost all scholarships have a prompt of how they, the question that's being asked, right, by the scholarship committee. Answer exactly what is being asked. And some people say, well, you can write an essay and kind of just use that same essay for all scholarships. That may not work for all scholarships because that one essay that you're doing may not answer the questions that the essay prompt is asking you. Okay, so yes, use the idea of that one essay, but tailor it to every scholarship committee's question that is being asked. Plan before writing. So read the prompt, brainstorm ideas, and create an outline before you start actually going through it. Structure matters, all right? Make sure that you, of course, have an intro, a body, and a conclusion. If you keep going all over the place and it's kind of hard to follow, you're going to lose your audience. And also, don't force it. If you're stuck, take a break and come back to it later. This is why it's important to start early. If you're scrambling to turn in a scholarship that's due November 20th and it's today, November 19th, it's probably not going to be a quality essay that will hopefully get you some scholarship money. And of course, make sure that you are revising and you are refining these essays. And it's okay to have multiple drafts. Make sure that you're asking for advice from other people, your parents, your teacher, your school counselor, just to get some feedback on what you are writing. Be very careful with using ChatGPT. We have had that situation come up a few times. Make sure the essay sounds like you. Make sure it sounds like a 17, 18-year-old and not AI, because we can tell. We can tell when ChatGPT is being used to write the essay. Essay tips, be authentic, sell yourself honestly, without exaggeration. We can tell when us as scholarship committee members, when we're reading your essay, when you're kind of just exaggerating everything and kind of showing off. It's fine, right? That you show off, that you tell us what you've been doing, but in a way that that is authentic. Right? Show balance in the essay, like academically what you've been doing, what activities you've been involved with, talk about your character, stay positive, all right? Focus on growth and resilience. If an essay prompt is asking you to write about something that you struggled with, definitely answer the prompt, but finish it off with how you overcame that struggle and how you're going to do better. Like stay positive and positive. Share your goals. All right. Explain your plans and how the scholarship is going to help. Right. Like if you're going to be a civil engineer, my plan is to go to Iowa State University for 4 years. I plan to hopefully be part of a co-op or an internship that will potentially get me a job. Be specific with what those goals are. Also know your audience. Know who is awarding this scholarship. Know what organization you're applying for. Tailor your essay to the organization's values and goals. There was a situation, again, with our organization where a student applied for a scholarship. She was awarded, and she gave back the scholarship because there was something in our mission that she didn't agree with, which is totally fine. But again, she could have saved herself some time and effort on her part and mine and ours if she would have read kind of what our organization was about. Add something new to the essay. Don't just repeat your grades and your GPA. That is actually one of my pet peeves. Like, don't tell me that your GPA is 3.8. Don't tell me that your ACT score was a 27, because I already know that, because I have your transcript. Add something new to the essay and write in your voice. Like I said before, be careful with that Chat GPT. I know it's very tempting, but make sure that the essay sounds like a 17 or 18-year-old, not like Chat GPT or a parent, because we've had that before too. And then, of course, end strong. Leave a memorable impression on the scholarship committee by having a strong ending that just kind of summarizes everything. And again, hopefully it stays with the people who are reading it, and will be reminded of you when they're deciding how much money to award. All right, letters of recommendation and resumes. I've mentioned resumes before, and this is what I'm talking about. We call these activities resumes. It's like a job resume, but with academic information on it. Scholarship committees will be asking you for the same thing as far as basic information over and over again. They're going to ask you for your school's information, your GPA, class rank, your ACT score, your activities, your awards, your talents, your honors, your community service, your volunteer work, your job. So all of these things can be put together and organized in a professional manner, and it can save you some effort when you're applying for these scholarships, because instead of typing everything out every time, you can put on your application, see attached, and attach an activity resume and have everything there. And it's easy to follow, and it's clean, and like I said, it's professional. There are some high schools where this is part of your curriculum, right? That students are probably taking a college class or a business class maybe, where you are working on an activities resume. Use that when you are putting together your activities resume for real, or feel free to use our template. We have made this available to you. If you go to that website down there in white, it's an automatic download. So you can fill it in with your own information. You have a template. You don't have to mess around with tabs and spaces and fonts, and it's everything there. You just have to put in your own info and use it when you are applying for those scholarships. With letters of recommendation, think of at least 3 people in your life who know you well and can speak of your accomplishments and work ethic. Okay, so a teacher would be a good one, a teacher you get along with, that you do well in their class, your school counselor, okay, if you have a good relationship with them, your coach, if you're in some type of sport, your principal. Okay, again, if you know them well, if they can speak well of you, and if they have time, please consider them to write a letter of recommendation. Other examples, a community member, a pastor, your employer, your supervisor, those would be good people that you can ask for letters of recommendation from. Do not ask family members, friends, or relatives, because they are biased. They're not wrong in the fact that you are amazing, but try to not have them be relatives or friends, okay? If you are going to ask for letters of recommendation, ask in advance. If you go to them today and say, hey, I have a scholarship due on the 21st, and it's Wednesday, and the 21st is Friday, they're probably going to write that letter for you, but it's not going to be as good as if you would have given them at least 2 weeks notice. The more time you give this person, the better quality letter that they're going to write for you. Give them the criteria of the scholarship. Tell them what the scholarship committee is looking for, and also give them your activities resume, because even though your AP biology teacher knows that you're an amazing student, you're always prepared, you participate, you help others, everything, they may not know that as a freshman, you made it to state cross country as a freshman, or that you showed your paintings at 4-H at the state fair. So these are things that would help this person write that letter of recommendation for you. Some tips on the summary. So again, apply to as many scholarships as possible. If the student meets the criteria, apply. Sometimes I hear students say, well, yeah, this scholarship is available, but it's only $200 or it's not that much money. Apply for it. $100 is $100. You don't have to borrow in loans. Okay. So apply to as many of those as possible if the student meets the criteria. If you meet the criteria, small amounts are going to add up and you're going to be grateful that you do this when you get your first college bill. Save time with creating your activity resume. Like I said before, scholarship applications generally will ask for the same information about you. And if you have that all put together already, it's going to make it a lot easier. Save everything. Don't delete don't delete things. So save all of your applications, save your letters of recommendation, have everything in a safe file on your computer or the cloud or wherever you save all your important documents. The devil is in the details, you guys. Preventable mistakes are detrimental to scholarship applications. Please pay close attention to those details. Sometimes these little mistakes is really a determining factor for in some situations. Like if there are two, 3 students that are equally deserving of this scholarship money, but we have to find a way to pick one. This is what we're going to look for, right? Missing a deadline, incorrect information, omitted information, providing too much information, not following directions. These are things that is going to put the student in the no pile. And you want to be in the yes pile always. All right, so submissions and awards. Before final submission, pause and review, take a short break, step away for a day, a week, a few days, then come back with fresh eyes, fresh mind, fresh attitude. Complete everything. Make sure that you are submitting all required documents and information. Make sure that if you are submitting an application online, that you are uploading all the attachments, everything that is being asked for. Make sure that when you hit send, everything is attached, everything is there, so that you don't have to keep sending them a bunch of emails and back and forth like, oh, I forgot this, I forgot this. For paper applications, okay, this is something that's just, I guess, my preference. If you're going to submit a paper application, use a large envelope. If you try to squeeze your letter into like a letter size, again, it's the little things that matter. You know, spend a little bit more on that large envelope and a little bit more on that stamp for your application if you're going to mail it. Again, deadlines matter. Mail them early. And if you're cutting it close, you guys, request a receipt, so that if something were to happen, they're like, oh, we didn't get your application on time. You have a receipt from the U.S. Postal that you did submit it on time. After you apply, confirm submission. If you just want to make sure that everything is there, contact the scholarship committee. Save copies of everything. I already talked about that. Please check your emails. Please check the mail. This should be a habit that young people should be in the habit of doing now. Because again, you're waiting for a response from a scholarship committee, but what about if you're waiting for a response from an employer for a job that you applied for? Or what if it's a potential coach that you want to talk to about your college athletics? Just make sure that you are in the habit of checking those emails often. And if you're awarded, congratulations. Make sure that you are tracking your awards. Again, a spreadsheet of how much and the source, and if these are scholarships that you can renew, all right? Find out about payment details, all right? So if you get a scholarship, is the scholarship committee going to send out one-time payment, or are they going to split it between fall and spring semester, all right? And the money for scholarships. Usually it goes directly to the college, but find out, because the organization that I'm involved with, we give the student a check, right? So we will say, here you go, Kyle, this is a check for you. Go ahead and deposit it. So find out how the student is going to receive that money, or if it's going to go directly to the college. All right. After you get awarded, find out if there's any additional requirements. Okay. Some scholarship committees might ask for enrollment verification, to prove that you really are attending this college. Again, going back to the organization that I'm involved with, we have corporate sponsors. So these corporate sponsors require the students to write thank you letters. So we have to, our scholarship recipients have to write a thank you letter to their corporate sponsor, Ford, Cheetos, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, whomever that sponsor is. And again, find out if you can renew the scholarship annually, if you can reapply next year, and of course, express gratitude. So always send a thank you note, thanking the scholarship committee for that opportunity. Almost done. Just real quick, be safe and be smart online. This is for the students. If it's online, remember it's public. Whatever social network, social platform students are on, just be aware of what you're putting out there. You don't want to jeopardize your future or a chance for scholarship opportunities because of what is being posted out there. If your friends and family are looking at your social media, whatever, they know who you are. But again, what if it's someone like me? And if you're applying for our scholarship, what if it's a college that is looking at your social media? What if it's the supervisor at Hy-Vee, which is where you want to work during the holidays? You just want to make sure that you're putting your best foot forward. Same as the emails, please make sure that you are setting up your cell phone so that people can leave messages if you're not available, and please check those voicemails often. Again, if it's your friend or calling you, whatever, you'll get to them eventually. But again, what if it's someone who is trying to award you some money? What if it's a coach that is inviting you to come to their Saturday practice? You want to make sure that you are checking on those opportunities. Just make sure that you are making smart choices as far as social media goes. And I will leave you with this. Beware of scams. Unfortunately, we are in an era where scams are everywhere. If you get something in an email or a text that says a scholarship is guaranteed, this information is found nowhere else, reserve your scholarship right now. Be very careful. Don't click on any suspicious links. If you need help with anything that has to do with scholarships, we can definitely try to help you. Your school counselor is a great resource. Your college admissions offices are great resources. Here is the timeline for seniors. So this fall, again, this is for class of 2026. File your FAFSA if you haven't done it yet. Start looking into what scholarships you're going to apply for. Okay, start thinking of people that you would ask for letters of recommendation from. And when local scholarships become available, which should be probably later in December, early January, start applying for those scholarships. In the winter, maybe during your winter break, start thinking about some essays, what you would be talking about in those essays, and start submitting those applications. In the spring, continue to search for and apply for scholarships. Keep track of that progress. If you are getting awarded scholarships, make sure that you are keeping tabs on how much and who is awarding you that money. Make sure that you are following up with the scholarship committee to see if they are asking for additional documentation from you. And please make sure that you send thank you notes to the people that wrote letters of recommendation for you, to scholarship committees that awarded you the scholarship money. I will leave you here with our contact information. The first one is our appointment link. So if you want to schedule an appointment in one of our offices, I physically have an office in Iowa City and in Davenport. So if you want to meet with me, you would select either Iowa City or Davenport location, or I can meet with you virtually. That is our toll-free number. That is our email. The third bullet. I do speak Spanish, so if anyone would like to discuss this in Spanish, I can definitely do that. This is the Iowa Farm Bureau Community Resource phone number in case you have questions for them. Again, please make sure that you are communicating with your high school counselors about those local scholarships, and keep encouraging as parents. If you are a parent, keep encouraging your students to apply for those scholarships. There were some questions which I'm going to answer right now. So what should the applicant put if their school does not provide class rank? Probably not applicable, and maybe mention it in the essay, okay, of how if they don't provide class rank, how does the school measure the student's academics, right? The URL for the activities resume is, let me go back. Sorry. Let me go back. Right there. icansucceed.org/activities, so plural, activities resume. I think that's it. So if you guys have questions, please let us know. Again, right now, the most urgent thing is to get that FAFSA form completed. So thank you so much for joining me, and yeah, have a good night and good luck.